We're going to look at adding two forces that are at 90 degrees to each other. First thing you do when you get the question is to draw it out. In this case, we're going to be adding 4 newtons and 3 newtons, right angles to each other. Draw them roughly to scale, and an important step is to always guess. This is where our answer is going to be. That's our answer there, if we add those two vectors. But being a force, not only do we need the answer, but we also need to know the angle. Two forces at right angles are quite easy to add together, because when we add forces, we just add them top to tail, and there's our answer there. Or we could look at the other way and go 4 newtons and then 3 newtons. Either way, you'll still be getting the same answer. Because it forms a right angle triangle, we can work this out quite quickly, because the answer, we'll call it answer, equals the square root of both the sides squared. So it's going to be the square root of 3 squared plus the square root of 4 squared. It's going to be the square root of 25, which equals 5 newtons. We've still only got half the answer though. We need to know the angle at how many degrees. To find out the angle, we form our answer into a triangle. There it is there, and here's the angle we require. When we're doing right angle triangles, first thing we do is we label them. This becomes opposite. The longer side's the hypotenuse and the adjacent. So that one's opposite because it's opposite the angle. Hypotenuse because it's longest, and adjacent. From that information, we can use, because we know these two sides here, the 3 newtons will also be 3 newtons up here, and the 4 newtons will be 4 newtons over there as well. So we could use tan to resolve this. So let's look at tan. Tan says that tan equals the opposite over the adjacent. Using this formula, we know the ratio because we know the opposite and adjacent. So tan of the angle equals the opposite, which is 3, over the adjacent, 4 newtons. So that's not going to tell us the angle though. All it tells us is the ratio. To find the angle, we have to use this, the inverse of tan. And inverse of tan of 3 divided by 4, and that will tell us the angle in degrees. Let's look at doing that with our calculator. Here's our calculator here. So what we want to be using is we want to use our shift button, shift and tan. It's hard to see, but there's tan there. Shift tan, and then put in a bracket just to be safe, and go 3 divided by 4 equals, and you'll get the answer out, and it'll tell you an angle of 36.86 degrees. So that's how we solve two at right angles. Quite straightforward. We're going to go on and have a look at 3 now.